get to a point as a man where you just don't want to do something, anymore.
For 25 seasons, Pat Riley paced the NBA sidelines with few peers. More than half of that time he spent here in Miami building a championship franchise which adopted his professional pedigree. Shortly after his 13th season with the Heat came to a close, the Hall of Fame legend decided that his coaching journey had taken him far enough.
Today, I am definitely sure that I don't want to do this anymore.
Enter Erik Spoelstra, the hand-picked successor who now becomes the league's youngest head coach. While it might be easy to confuse age with experience, those who have been around him and witnessed the years of dedication, hard work, and development know full well just what has prepared this man for this moment.
He probably knows this system and has spent more time in the film room and on the court with players individually than anybody. So, if it's anybody that was, prepared to take this job and make this move, it's definitely Spo.
He's just one of the people. I've been around only a couple in my career where right off the bat you said, this is greatness right here. This guy's going to be fantastic.
You rise to the top through your work ethic. You rise to the top, through, your productivity. You rise to the top with your countenance and your demeanor and your attitude and your approach. And there comes a time when you get your chance.
After playing in Germany professionally for 2 years, Spoelstra came to the Heat in the spring of 1995. He was first brought on as a video coordinator by Chris Wallace and Dave Wall, based on a recommendation from a fellow friend, longtime NBA executive John Spoelstra.
That was at the beginning age of video coordinators. And so around the NBA, the question was, do you get a techie guy and teach him basketball, or do you get a basketball guy and teach him tech? The Miami Heat chose the basketball guy, Erik.
A few months later, the team hired Pat Riley as its president and head coach, and shortly thereafter, the new head man made it a point to stop by the video room.
I remember vividly the day he came down to the office, and luckily I was working. I was working on some project, and he asked me. It was one of my first real interactions with Coach, and he asked me if I could do the job. Head video coordinator for him.
Coach Riley was really the one that developed that in the NBA, the videotaping to the extent that it's being done today. But he was the one that did it with the New York Knicks, but he couldn't bring the guy with him from the Knicks because of contractual situation. So now he's expecting Erik to be as good as that guy with the Knicks who'd been doing it under Riley's system for years.
So I said, oh, absolutely, I'm your guy. Not knowing at all really what the job entailed. I made it look like that. I knew what I'd do, and I figured with my work ethic and if I spent 20 hours a day in there that I'd be able to figure it out.
Figure it out he did. Endless hours and sleepless nights spent by Erik Spoelstra in the video room helped contribute to his ever-growing reputation as a tireless worker. But it was the advice from his father, John, a longtime NBA executive, that ultimately enabled Spoelstra to impress his mentor as much with his intellect and insight as his effort.
And one time we're discussing things, and I said, why don't you give him something, a different look that he's not expecting? Do all the things you're supposed to do, but then do something that's a little bit different and just leave it on his desk.
His reports, were different than other scouting reports that I got. There was always something different. There were recommendations. I can remember one of the first letters that he wrote me. And he kept asking Stan, he said, should I write him a letter? Should I write him a letter? Should I write him a letter? He said, if you write him a letter, it better have some substance in it, because Stan was one of the great letter writers, or note writers, and giving me information. He said, just don't write him stuff, because you just throw it in the trash. And he wrote me a note basically on the opposition, about how to guard certain things, about what he thought, was the backstory of the team, and it was remarkable, and he was right on with it.
Spoelstra now fills the shoes of the man who has served as his mentor for more than a decade. Though some overlap in style is almost inevitable, both men realize that a new and unique voice will be leading this team.
Change, offense, defense. Let's go, come on.
I think it's really important that I stay true to myself, and probably more than anybody, I've always been almost mesmerized by Coach Riley's speeches in front of the team. And I used to bring in my notebook and write them down, and he's such a great storyteller and really inspiring and motivational with his talks. That's not me, you know, and if I tried to be that, I think, you know, players would see through that. And as much as I would like to be that guy, it has to be in a different way.
You become yourself because you're a product of your education and your experiences and your environment, you know, with other people, and then you become yourself. He definitely is going to be his own personality.
As he embarks on his first season as the 6th head coach in the history of the Miami Heat, Erik Spoelstra does so with a tremendous sense of appreciation for the opportunity and honor for this organization.
I just feel very fortunate to have this opportunity with this team, with this organization. I'm very honored to take the torch and carry this on. The legacy that Pat's created here with the Miami Heat, we all feel so much pride of what we've built, you know, here over the years. To now take that torch and lead this team into the future, you know, hopefully for many, many years, and get back to the success that we're used to having.